So most of us have heard of the story of Sodom and Gomorrah, but there's something really interesting about that story that I missed that I wanted to share with you guys. So as the story goes, Abraham is, minding his business, and then three men come up to him. One of the men seems to be God because he knows all about Abraham's business. So Abraham bows down to him and offers to make him a special meal. He prepares for him bread and a fattened calf. Now that part's important, remember that. Also, he decides to reveal to Abraham that he's going to destroy the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah. The cries against him from God's people have just become so great that he's going to go down there himself and see what's going on. And Abraham asks him, because he knows that his nephew Lot is living out there, he asks him, well, even if there are many sinful people, would you destroy the whole place? If there's 10 people who are righteous, would you destroy the whole place? And God says, no. If there are 10 righteous people there, I will not destroy the whole place. So fast forward, there are only two men now who will have traveled to Sodom, which we believe are God's angels. These two men are met by Lot himself, and Lot does the same thing that Abraham did, and he greets them and he wants to give them a meal. The two men said no, they don't really want to, but Lot insists. So the two men agree. Now, while Abraham offered him meat and bread, Lot only had to offer him bread. But Lot was so kind to the men, it makes me think that it wasn't because he was being stingy, it was because that's all he had to offer. Now, as the story goes on, God does destroy Sodom and Gomorrah, but he saves Lot and his immediate family. But what I'm finally realizing in this text years later after reading it is that when Lot first moved into Sodom, he was a very rich man. In fact, he split up from Abraham because he had such great wealth. Genesis 13 says, Lot also, who went with Abraham, had flocks and herds and tents. Now the land was not able to support them, that they might dwell together, for their possessions were so great that they could not dwell together. They split up because Lot and Abram's herders and shepherds were arguing amongst themselves. So Lot took his possessions and his people and moved to Sodom. So if he had so much, how come he only offered God's angels a slice of bread? But once again, I don't think it was because of stinginess, because he was so adamant that he served them. I think it's because that's all he had. In fact, when the angels asked if he had anybody to take out of the land with him, he didn't say anything about the herders that were with him back in Genesis 13. It makes me wonder if Lot came into some sort of financial ruin after moving into Sodom. And this wouldn't be the only bad thing that happened to him, because remember, in Genesis 14, he got caught up in that war and got captured along with the other prisoners, and Abram had to come save him. If there's any lesson to learn from this, I think it would be that we can only go places where God tells us that we should go. We can't expect good things to happen where sin reigns.